I got a made up mind, I'm gonna serve the Lord. I got a made up mind to take him at his word. I have faith that he will deliver me with a made up mind. Praise God, I'm gonna serve the Lord. Well, the king put Daniel in the lion's den, but Daniel had no fear within. He knew his God would move on time. The angel came, shut the lion's mouth, he had a made-up mind. In the fiery furnace, I see three men. To an idol God they would not bend. Their trust in God was so divine. Fourth man came, kept them from the flame. They had a made-up mind. I got a made-up mind, I'm gonna serve the Lord. I got a made-up mind, take him at his word. I have faith that he will deliver me with a made-up mind. Praise God, I'm gonna serve the Lord. Well, the Lord told Moses about the promised land. He said, lead my people and fear no man. They marched to the Red Sea and the water rolled back. They marched on through, yes they did, with made-up mind. He'll take you through the fire, lead you through the flood. You'll stand the temptation, covered by his blood. When trials come of every kind, fall on your knees with a made-up mind. I got a made-up mind, I'm gonna serve the Lord. I got a made-up mind, take him at his word. I have faith that he will deliver me with a made-up mind. Praise God, I'm gonna serve the Lord with a made-up mind. Praise God, I'm gonna serve the Lord. Howdy folks, and a great big welcome to each and every one of you. Well, that song that I just sang talked about Daniel and Moses. I learned it from the singing of some folks in the Turner Family Band. I believe they're from Florida. And I played it on this resonator guitar that I built. When did I build this? 2022, so it's a year old already. Inside there's a aluminum resonator cone that I made out of an old no fishing sign, and then this cover plate here I peened out of an old fry pan lid, painted it bronze. So it turned out to be not too bad a resonator guitar, so I enjoy fooling around with it. Hope you enjoyed the song. I'm going to do a Bible reading now, so if you folks don't want to hear one, end the video now. I'll say thank you for watching so far. See you next time. One of the people mentioned in the song, got a made-up mind, was Daniel. And Daniel and his buddies were taken over. Actually, all the Jewish people were taken over by Nebuchadnezzar, who was a Babylonian. And he took them to Babylon, and then later he died, and then there was another guy that became king, and Belshazzar. and then he was killed, and then Darius, a Mede, so there was the Medes and the Persians. Darius took over, and he made Daniel one of the top three guys that ruled over 120 satraps who ruled over the people in the kingdom. And Daniel was such a good administrator that the king was thinking of making him the top administrator. And the other guys, the other two administrators and 120 satraps, got a little jealous, got their noses out of joint. So they decided to, they couldn't find anything that Daniel had done wrong, and no blame. So they decided to make something up. So they went to the king and said, issue an order that everybody's got to bow down and worship you. And you're the only one they can worship. And if they worship anybody else, they get punished. So King Darius issued the order. And Daniel went up to his room, and he still continued praying 3 times a day to God, to the only true God there is. And so these administrator guys found him doing that and went and squealed to King Darius. And even though Darius didn't want to, he had issued the order, so he had to stick to that. So he had Daniel thrown into a den of lions, and they sealed up the entrance so nobody could come in or out. And Darius was distraught all night, couldn't sleep. And he went over to the lion's den next morning and called out, and Daniel was walking around fine. No harm had come to him. So the king called him out, and was very glad to see that he hadn't been eaten by the lions. And instead, the king threw all of the guys that had made up the stories about Daniel and said that he wasn't worshiping the king. He threw them into the lion's den instead. So if you want to read the story, though, go to Daniel chapter 6. The whole chapter is devoted to that story. So I hope you folks enjoyed the old gospel tune. I don't know who wrote it. If anybody out there knows who wrote it, please leave a comment in the section below. I learned it from Turner Family, but I'd sure like to find out who wrote that. Got a made-up mind. Hope you enjoyed the song. Hope you enjoyed the Bible story about Daniel. God bless, and I'll see you down the road.